Hello and welcome to the RPG Lounge. This is the first episode of the channel, so yeah, bear with me. I haven't done YouTube in, oh god, it's been many years now. But I used to do playthroughs and things like that, and got out of it for a couple years and wanted to get back into it, so here we are. We're going to be playing through various RPGs of various genres and things. Today, we're starting the 7th Saga. I'm going to do a solo run of the 7th Saga. If you're not familiar with this game, it's really good. It's on the Super NES. Have myself a physical copy. And one of those games I used to play as a kid. So, probably young adult, I guess. Whatever. Alright, let me actually switch over. I'm using a completely different setup for, doing my recording and all that good fun stuff, so. Back when I first did YouTube, I was using all sorts of screen capture kind of stuff. Now I can just use, like, OBS or something like that, which is open broadcasting software. So I can use it to stream, which I do on occasion, and I can use it for local recordings, which makes this process a whole lot easier. I was able to create all the little transition things, all the little production value-y things, and make it fairly easy to make videos. Alright, let's get started. So, I'm going to have to erase this one. That being said, I'll be completely transparent. I just did the recording for this entire video and forgot to turn on the mic option, which is actually a thing I used to forget years ago when I did these videos before. So hopefully that bad habit will not continue, because if we're in the middle of a playthrough, it's going to really be terrible to just have the game progress and not have any of the associated commentary. Let us begin. Free space, and we are going to use the alien. And we will just call ourselves Alien. Don't need to be extra creative with the whole thing. Alien. Just like the movie. There we go. So a little bit more about myself. We'll actually go through the really quick opening cutscene, and then I'll read the text for it. I mean, there's no voice acting. We're not going to voice act necessarily, but I will read it for you. Especially if folks are, I don't know, just listening to the commentary and not maybe able to see. I'm actually visually impaired, so I can't usually see text very well when I'm trying to watch a video on my phone or something like that. So it is nice if the content creator just reads things. So you'll have to bear with me. But my dog is actually with me right now too, apparently. She would like attention, of course, while I'm trying to do this. Was hanging out on the floor before, not wanting any attention, but noticed that I'm doing something else, of course. And that's when the dog comes in. But, ho-hum. I have pets. Lots of them. Alright. You have trained well in the past 5 years. Finally, the time has come to test your skill and knowledge. Your mission is to find the 7 hidden runes somewhere on the planet Tychondera. When you have all the runes together, they will give you tremendous power, and you will become the leader of this world. King Lamel, tell us more about these runes. They exist in many different forms, and it is difficult to identify them. I'll give each of you a crystal ball. It will help you to find the runes. Now get ready for the journey and bring the runes back. Alright, each hero has received a crystal ball. Yay! So if you watch the opening cutscene before you start the game, you'll see that King Lamel here approached all of these heroes to go on this quest. So we're kind of competing with each other to find these 7 runes. You can partner up with some of these other characters, not all of them. Some of them won't like me based on the fact I'm an alien. Some will like me. Some will actually attack me. So, and that's not actually really fun. It's one of the harder parts of this game is when your competitors attack you because they level up with you. So if I go up to level 30 and I encounter them somewhere on the world map, yep, they'll be level 30 as well, with all of the associated powers that come with a level 30 character. So fortunately, the alien ups their power and speed and critical hit rate in such a way that we'll probably get more attacks than our opponent. Probably, most likely, hopefully, if the RNG gods are favorable, basically. I've got my coffee on board. So, we need to get to level about 5 or 6. That's what we'll be doing for this episode. So, we'll be resting, we'll be going out on the world map, doing the battles and things, and getting enough experience to get our first spell, and I was able to get to level 6 the last time I did this. And videos will be 50 minutes, give or take, probably 1 minute, but I'm going to keep them as much as possible to basically a lunch break. So if you're on your lunch break and watching this video, it should fit in perfectly to that little hour time. So hopefully you get an hour for lunch. If you don't, you should probably ask your employers about that, because you should really get a nice full hour of lunch to eat and digest and such. Here's battle, by the way. It's somewhat three-dimensional, but it's sprite-based three-dimensional. You got these nice Mode 7 graphics, which is that spinning effect and things, and being able to come down here like this. Yeah, this was I used to rent this game, and it was very impressive to me to have a battle system like this, because I was used to like Final Fantasy games where it's a, side-scrolling kind of turn-based battle system. This is still turn-based, but it's very much trying to attempt a you're on the world map kind of experience, which is cool. And another good reason to play this game is the enemies actually come to you. You don't have to do the old back and forth with the directional button and such to grind for enemy encounters and things like that. So I can sit here like I'm doing right now, and I can pet my dog and hit the attack button. We do have to keep an eye on our hit points, though. Because if we get 2 enemies at the same time, we will probably get killed. It can happen very, very quickly in this game. So this is a challenging game, and the version we got in the United States, from what I've read, is actually the hard mode of the game in like Japan. They messed around with a lot of the balancing and things like that. I'm not sure why they did that, but obviously if you own a physical copy of the game, you can do an emulation of this game and add a mod to it to restore its original balancing. That being said, you can still beat the game without doing all that. I mean, I'm very used to... I never knew there was a balance problem in this game before I was doing some research later on in life and figured out, oh, wow, okay, I didn't know that. I just thought it was a hard game, and kind of just went with that and kept leveling up my character until I was strong enough to get through the game. I mean, that's... these original, older RPGs and things like that, And this is still Super Nintendo era, so it's not old, but it's still old enough. You really did have that whole thing of, okay, if the game's too hard, just keep leveling and you'll be fine. That really was the solution a lot of times in these games. Later on, as RPGs kind of got fleshed out a little bit more, they've put systems in to make it so if you level up, it doesn't necessarily, help you completely win the game. Again, not a bad thing. It just is what it is, and they go. Some of the newer RPGs are anti-grinding kind of experiences where enemies will level up with you. I was thinking Diablo 4, which I played for a little bit until I just quit the game. I went through the main story, but yeah, I like those loot grinders. That was not something I enjoyed, though. The enemies like leveled up with you. Not what I like. It's kind of like what is it? Final Fantasy Tactics. Great, amazing strategy-based RPG. However, the enemies level up with you. And I used to love just sitting there leveling my characters in that game, getting new equipment. However, if you level too much, the enemies will outscale your armor and equipment. And if you don't move the story forward to get stronger equipment... Oh, good, we leveled up. Let's see what our level is real quick. Okay, good hit point 1. Power 5, I'll take that. Speed 5, good. Alright, that was actually a really good level up. Oh, not to remember what I was talking about. But yeah, it was Diablo 4, yeah. Yeah, enemies level up with you, so you never actually feel really strong. I mean, you unlock new abilities and things and all that kind of stuff. Oh god, please don't die. Please don't die, please don't die, please don't die. This is what I'm always guilty of. I sit here and yap and yap and yap, which you're supposed to do on a YouTube channel. Or streaming, which I also do. But then I forget that, guess what? I have hit points, and I could die. So let's save at the end. In fact, I think I need to... Do I need to actually... I think we're okay. All right. Yeah, we're good. I'm a little paranoid now that I've lost an entire video already. And this used to happen back in the day when I'd be in the middle of a playthrough and then forget the audio, and it was ridiculous. There is a way around it. I would just play the video back and then do a commentary over the top. But that's awkward when you're not just playing the game immediately. If you don't sync the audio properly, you can have really weird stuff happen. If you watch enough YouTube videos, there's a lot of technical stuff behind the scenes that probably no one really realizes until you do it yourself. And then it's like, wow, I had no clue that this was, one, as complicated as it can be. And it can be difficult to do, especially if you're doing something like this right now. We're just grinding enemies, so to sit there and gab about other stuff, it can be a pain in the butt sometimes. But I'm kind of used to it, especially with RPGs. I've got a lot of other RPGs that I've played and enjoyed, so I can just bounce around all over to all sorts of different games and things and talk about them. So I'm looking forward to having folks, comment on some of the videos, even if it's a few comments here and there. It'll give me something additional to talk about in the next, video if there's questions or thoughts or suggestions. And this is a game I've played many, many times before. I don't have it memorized. I like all the little minutiae of detail. I don't have that memorized. I know enough to get through the game, though. So feel free to, spoilers, you can do that. You can do the backseating stuff. You can give suggestions, all that good fun stuff. It's not going to ruin the experience at all for me. And in fact, I'm going to play on this channel all games pretty much that I've either played before or have a good amount of knowledge about, so that I know the story and it won't be spoiled for me. Because, bless the hearts of the internet. At the same time, people love to spoil stuff, whether it's just trying to help and they've got no bad intentions, or they just like to troll and then spoil the game. So, and it's my pet peeve. So, yeah, I will always just play the games first and enjoy it for myself, and then bring it to the YouTube channel and hang out with y'all and play the games and such. But at the same time, since I've gone through the game just once, usually by myself, I don't know all the things. So that's where y'all come in, and you can just, say, hey, did you try this? Did you know about this? There's this item you can get. That's awesome information. Love that. Especially in some of the games that I'll be playing. I'd like to bring like Xenoblade Chronicles to the channel, because I do play modern RPGs as well. Xenoblade Chronicles on the Switch, by the way, just saying, it is an absolute masterpiece of a game. It is very dramatic, I will say that much. I happen to enjoy that about it. Battle system's really good, story's really good. If you like RPGs in any way, shape, or form, and Japanese RPGs in particular, that style of animation and such, go out and get a Switch, go out and get that game, and play it, because I'm still playing. I played through it twice now, and I'm on my third playthrough to get all of the side quests taken care of. Because there's a new Game Plus system in there, where you carry over your levels and your items and some of your skills, not all of them. But yeah, that game is so good. And I've never played a Xenoblade game, ever. So I'm still in the process of saving up money for the first two games, because they're both on Switch, which is a really nice little console. It was gifted to me for Christmas a couple years back for when I travel. And I don't do a ton of traveling nowadays, but I used to do a lot more of it. And I would use that as just my console to veg out to and things like that. It was just really nice. And it still is. It still works and everything, and I take good care of it. So, yeah, great games. I do want to get the first two Xenoblade games, because the third one is like the, finale of the first two stories. They kind of are connected. I won't spoil the game. They are connected to the first two games, though. The third one, in a really cool way. It's kind of like when they did the sequel to Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross. The sequel it's not evident at first at all, like how it connects to the first game. So I played that as a kid when it first came out, and I was really disappointed. But there's a plot dump at the end of the game. It's like the last 2 or 3 bosses. There's a huge plot dump at the end of the game that fills in the entire why this is connected to the first game in the first place. And it just opens up a whole can of worms, which makes your second playthrough really interesting, because you know who everybody is and how it's all connected and such. So that was a game that took me a while to appreciate. Good old Chrono Cross. I finally replayed through my copy of it about 15 or so years ago, and used a walkthrough to help a little bit with my builds and such, and finding all the things. And it fleshed out the whole story and how it all connected, and it really, once you do that, it's a really cool sequel. It's not like a direct sequel, and yet it is, because they really embrace like they say in Doctor Who, the timey-wimey stuff in the game, and alternate realities, and all sorts of cool stuff. It's actually very well done. But you don't get that. The first time you play through it, you do not get that at all. You're introduced to all these characters that you don't know about, have no relationship as far as you can tell to the original game. So it's like, what did they do? Where's Ayla? Where's Chrono? Where are all the people I love from the first game? Give me my first game experience. But yeah, it's one of those games that I guess is kind of, I guess it's controversial. I mean, for that reason, it was not a direct. It's a direct sequel, and yet it's not a direct sequel character-wise. Because I mean, it's not really a spoiler. You don't see a lot of the original characters at all in Chrono Cross. Good game, though. I mean, they changed the entire battle system. They have magic that makes sounds, like music, and that comes to play later on in the game, too. And elementals things. The battle system is really complex in Chrono Cross. Wasn't a huge fan the first time I played it. And then the game grew on me as I grew in my understanding of its mechanics. So that would be a game. They do have a PC port of Chrono Cross now. Would be worth your time picking up and playing. And yes, if you haven't played the first game, Chrono Trigger, you should just play that either way, even if you don't plan on playing Chrono Cross. If you've never heard of or played the Super NES game Chrono Trigger, go get it. It is also ported. I think there's a port on Steam. That's what it is. Steam, not Twitch. So you can get that. It's not. I think it might be a port of the mobile game. It's a possibility that it's a crappy port. I'm gonna warn you on that one. But get it on sale. I mean, if you can get your hands on original hardware and play it on the original hardware, I would do that. But yeah, well, and there's a PlayStation 1 anthology. I think it's the Final Fantasy anthology that comes with, I think, Final Fantasy 4 and Chrono Trigger. Disc version is kind of weird. There's actually a stutter. Every time you do a battle, there's a stutter, and I think it loads in the battle system somehow. So it's weird. It's not smooth transition-wise between action and battles like it is in the original game. Level 4. Nice. We're getting through here really good. Let's look at our little level up here. Level ups are random, by the way. We have been getting really good level ups, though. I'm specifically looking at power up, which we got 5, which is good. Magic up we don't really care about. Speed is nice too, so anything above 3 is good. Anything below 3, nah, not good. And in fact, if you really wanted to min-max, you could save scum, which means just save before you level up. If you don't get the stats you want, reload your character. Which, I mean, in some cases could be advisable, honestly. I would not fault people for doing that. I think we'll be okay, though. We'll rely on loading and reloading. There's going to be a few fights where we're going to have to get some lucky hits in, and if we don't, we'll die. And if we do, well, we'll win, and we'll celebrate and go, yeehaw, woohoo, and all that good fun stuff. But yeah, there's just some parts of this game that the RNG gods are going to be summoned and relied on heavily to win. Mostly with the fact that we have to fight the other adventurers. And that can be horribly brutal. It really can be. It's one of the things that frustrated me as a kid. But this particular character gets critical hits quite a bit, so if we're lucky, we will get critical hits in and out-damage our competitor. It happened just fine for me the last time I've done this challenge, which was a couple years ago. So I'm just going to cross my fingers, pray to the RNG gods and hope for the best. And if we're lucky, yeah, things will go well. It probably won't go well just because I'm recording it, though. That tends to be my curse. Even when I did YouTube before, it's bad things happen when you turn the record button on. It's a shame, but it's true. I do like a Dark Souls run or something like that, and that one enemy that always moves left as you're running past them would move right and get in my way and kill me. I used to do not world record attempts by any stretch of the imagination, but I do some basic speed runs of Dark Souls, the original one, with the Gravelord sword, which is a huge, huge sword. And you can get it like 5 minutes into the game. Well, actually 10 minutes, because you have to get through the first tutorial area and kill the first tutorial boss. But once you get to that first place Firelink Shrine, you can go down and get this really cool weapon. It's fairly easy to, wield and everything. But it's a great weapon early game to... You can go through the entire game pretty much and absolutely destroy a lot of the early game bosses. So I would do runs with that particular weapon, and it was a fun time. I think I got sub 2 hours eventually, which is nowhere near world record. And I don't do the glitches. I think there's one glitch I do, or at least attempt. And it's not necessarily a glitch. There's a spot in it's a place called the Duke's Archives. It's a huge library. The boss is a big dragon, and the normal route, you have to go up to the dragon guy. He kills you once and imprisons you. You can actually do this little jump off of one of the elevators in the library, and you jump off the thing, and you land on a railing, and then you just go through the level normally from there. And it skips this entire imprisonment part, so it actually buys you like 10-15 minutes, depending on how slow you go through the prison part. But it's really, at least I'm inconsistent with it. If I sat there and practiced for hundreds of hours, I'd be fine, but I used to have that kind of time. But I'm married, I have a child, so I have, lots of pets and things that rightfully take my time. So, video games, as you get older, video games can still be part of your life. They're a controlled portion of it, though. That's why I'll be doing these recordings during my lunch break. I work from home, fortunately, but I do have a scheduled lunch break that I take. So probably eat something really quick, and then I'll get over to my recording system here and get a episode out for y'all, and hopefully you guys can watch it on your lunch breaks as well. So all right. We should be getting our fire spell next level. I think that's what's going to happen, if I remember correctly. There's actually, look up on, good old Google or something, and you can find a very specific, stat allocation chart. Let's see what we got here. 8.7. Good. Yep, fire 1 learned. Okay, good. Man, we are getting really good level ups with our power and speed. This is one of the reasons I choose the alien. One is you don't have to buy any weapons for it because his arms are weapons. Two, power and speed level up really fast, and that's what you need. You need damage, and you need to move faster than your enemies. So, especially if you're trying to solo the game, you need as many turns as possible. And he has high evasion too, so yeah. If enemy cannot hit you, they cannot kill you. That is the old mantra. Let's see here. I'm getting these two enemies. I suppose we're fine at this point. Right when we start the game, we were taking about 3 damage from these, especially these wyverns, the little bird things. So it's not all that fun, but now we're just taking 1 hit point of damage, so it'll be fine. And I hope that this, one of the reasons I call it the RPG Lounge is I want this to be a laid-back place. Just to enjoy, commenting and talking about games and things, asking questions, doing all that kind of stuff. I'm pretty laid back too. Same with my stream stuff. I do very laid back playthroughs of stuff, kind of like a Bob Ross of video games and such. And I just really enjoy that style. So I'm not going to get all hyped up necessarily unless we have something really exciting happen in a game. It'll happen, but I'm not that cool to do all the hype related stuff, so I just enjoy playing these games, and I really enjoy bringing some of these older games or lesser known games to people's attention so they can go play them and enjoy them. Especially some of these Super Nintendo games. Like this one, I mean, it does have a cult following. It really does. Not as well known, though, as, like Chrono Trigger, Secret of Evermore, Secret of Mana, or Mana. I always say Secret of Mana. I know it's Secret of Mana. It's just the way it is. I don't know why I started saying it Mana. That's the way it is. And I know it's Mana because Trials of Mana, which is the remake of the 3rd game in the Secret of Mana series, they say Trials of Mana. And yeah, that game is all voice acted and 3-dimensional. I'm playing through it with my daughter right now, and we're having the time of our lives. We're actually almost through the game. So, really fun RPG. It's on the Switch and it's on Steam as well. I played the PC version. Really good game. Very simple. Very simple RPG story. Battle system's fun though. The characters aren't annoying except for one of them, but you can just choose not to be that. There's a little girl in the group. I don't even remember her name. She's got a very, very annoying character, though. Like, it's not fun to play. We actually encountered that character once, and it was like, no, I'm never putting you in my party ever, ever, ever. So I've chosen. There's this warrior guy. There's basically a Valkyrie woman, a Valkyrie warrior kind of person, and then a female mage. So they're really cool. They're all really good characters. Not too over the top. So it works out really well. And then they can do all sorts of really cool bonus attacks and things. They can do class changes in the game. It's really well done. To the point that I'm actually going to revisit the original Super NES game. There is where it's on the Switch. There's a translated version of Secret of Mana 3, or Trials of Mana as it's called now, on the Switch, and it's bundled with the original Secret of Mana game and I think a Legend of Mana. It's a Game Boy game. So there's 3 games on it. It's about, you can get it for $27, give or take, on line. If you try to buy it from the Nintendo store, though, it's $40. So I would get a physical copy, honestly, because it's not worth the convenience. Is not worth the $40. Well, at least not for me. Maybe for y'all it would be, but I can't do it. I mean, you do get 3 games, 3 probably really good games. But I actually kind of like getting physical copies of games still. I'm less crazy about it these days just because everything's been transferred to, purely digital. There are definitely some games that I will get. I have physical copies of all the Souls games, Kingsfield games. I have physical copies of the Neo series. So there are certain games that are high enough quality for me and that I've spent a good chunk of time in that I'll get the commemorative edition, basically, for, my shelf. Or storage box, where I'll, hide all the things that I own. Just so they stay safe and, away from either pets or young children that could, take the disc out and go, hey, Dad, I found this new coaster. It's really cool. It has this ninja on the front. I scratched the whole bottom. Is that okay? And, Dad has an absolute conniption and a heart attack as he, experiences the terror of a game destroyed. Fortunately, my daughter is smart enough not to do any of that kind of stuff. So, we got 1 magic point. Power 4. What do we get for speed? A 3 for speed. I'll accept it, I guess. Alright. We are going to be adventurous and head to the second town. Because I think in the second town, we're going to check this out. I think you can get a whistle after you talk to one of the characters for the boss. We won't do the boss today because we're not going to be strong enough to do the boss yet. So we'll have to do a little bit of leveling. And we're getting lucky with the encounters, at least. We're not getting any, like, 2 wyverns and a crab, combinations. Which can happen, and then you die. Here we go. Welcome to... Oh, yeah, we have to talk. Welcome to Rablesk, which is a weird name for a place, but that's okay. There should be... Where is it, though? Actually, I thought it was down there. Maybe it's not. Maybe. Who's this guy? My wife is in a bad mood. You'd better not bother her. Oh, I'm gonna totally bother her. Of course I'm gonna bother her. Why is she in a bad mood? I have trouble enough, what with Ramus and all. Leave me alone! Wow, she really is angry. So yes, this is one of those games, old school RPGs. You have to do the whole search thing. You just can't hit the button and search, which is fine. It's very much into that, the old RPG, like back in the day when there was just, tabletop and books and things. You would have to, say, I searched this thing, or I talked to this character, or I go down the stairs. So when they translated a lot of these games over to the video game kind of genre, they brought a lot of that stuff along with it. At least the first, couple, generations of games. And like, games like Wizardry and such like that, they still do that stuff. Or even, I don't know, probably to a lesser extent, like Baldur's Gate, like the third game. I don't think it probably does that, but it would be cool if they did. The traveler who left for Aran to get the Key of Earth has not returned. The castle has been a hideout for monsters ever since Ramus arrived there. What should we do with him? I don't know. Probably send some sort of an adventurer to kill him. Protection seed is in the tree. Do you wish to take it? Yes, thank you. So yes, it does actually help to do some searching around and such. Don't you move around. Talk to me. You said you've been training under King Lamel? Really? In the past, he battled many monsters and saved hundreds of people. Really? I don't believe that. Foreshadowing. Yeah. King Lamel's kind of on the naughty list, so... Basically, if you're playing RPGs and some king asks you to go out and collect these powerful items so that you can be powerful, don't trust that in any video game. If that's a very suspect kind of thing for a quest giver to do. It's like, go get this really cool thing. You'll be so happy with it. That means the translation is they want it and they're going to kill you for it. Just saying. That's how RPGs go. Oh, don't you move. Stop moving. Met another of King Lamel's warriors only a minute ago. Oh, really? Okay. That means they're probably in the bar. Okay, we don't need any armor or weapons because we're an alien, so we're just not going to deal with them. Tavern. I'm Kane. I came from Bonro to take care of my business here. I'm stuck now because the Gate of Earth is closed. Will you help me? If you open the gate, I will give you this map to show my appreciation. The map has magical powers and it will always show you where you are. Your journey will be easier with the map. Will you do it? No. Yes, we will. It's a deal. You can trust my word. No. Lesson 2. If they have to tell you that you can trust their word, guess what? You can't. It's usually the tagline of like the snake oil salesman or something like that. Trust me, it'll be fine. Everything will be great. No, it really won't. Searching for the ruins too. I don't have the faintest idea of where they are. Do they really exist? They do. It's true. All right. I do not know where this thing is. Eventually, I'm wondering if we actually have to go to the boss battle and die or something like that. Which, I don't want to do that. Pyson, a bounty hunter, has been looking for you. Watch out! Okay, Pyson. I am assuming it's Pyson, because Pisson doesn't sound like a good idea for a name. Kind of sounds like an activity, actually, but yeah. I need to deliver the medicine to Bonro in the south, but the Gate of Earth is closed, and I can't get there. So this Gate of Earth thing, can you tell that might be a quest? Yes, definitely is. Talk. That's 6 gold. My goodness, inflation. We moved down south like, I don't know, 30 steps and it's gone up 2 gold. Wow. That's a thing. Alright, had to take a sip of coffee. Yes, there will be coffee involved with pretty much all the videos on this channel. I'm not addicted. I'm not. I just like it. It's delicious. I can quit anytime. I do like... I have a friend of mine that actually sells coffee. And their coffee it's really good. It's flavored coffee and things of that nature. I can actually drink it without any sugar or cream or anything, and it tastes really good. It's definitely worth the money. So it's not too expensive, which is nice. I'll buy like 4 bags at a time. It'll last me a couple months. So, all right, this is the, you know, the cool first dungeon. And the music's really good. Alright. Ooh, it took the magic points. Stop it, you horrible creature. For that, I will fire a fireball at you. Pew, there, you're gone. Chimera lost. You know what I used to call these? It's one of our last things for this video today. I used to call them chimeras. I know, but it is pronounced chimera. Yeah, go figure. But yeah, as a kid, it was chimera. Chimera attacked. Yeah. Kind of sounds cute though. Well, chimera, hi. You're so cute. I'll pat your head. Yes, we do voices on this channel, just for funsies. And then we've got the obelisk from 2001, A Space Odyssey. Or, what is it, a thwomp in a Mario game? Or a delicious looking chocolate bar. Take your pick of those ideas. Or make up your own. Alright, so this will actually be the place that I do some grinding for levels. Need to get... I like to get up to about level 5 just to get to the second town. And then I'll probably level up to about 10 or 12. I like to be able to one-shot these guys. It's kind of my test of strength, is if I can one-shot the basic enemies. That, at least in this game, is a good sign that you should be relatively strong enough to defeat the boss. It is not always the case, by the way. It's a generally good rule of thumb, though. This will probably be... Yeah, this will be our last battle. I gotta get back to the town, because we're at 48 minutes. I'm trying to respect people's time and such, but... We'll go out of here. I actually like doing the level grinding in there, because it's better music. Well, I do like the overworld music here. It's just really relaxing and can make me sleepy. So that kind of more driving beat of the dungeon areas, yeah, makes it a little bit easier to go long term with something like that. Is this the... Yeah, it is. All right. Talk. Yes. Cool. Well, that should do it. I usually have a general idea as to what I'm doing each episode, so I like to, chunkify these adventures into, little episodes, like you probably should in a YouTube series. So the next time I will do some leveling in between. We'll probably work our way through a good chunk of that dungeon in the next episode. because I should be at least level 10 to 15 by then. I'll do my due diligence as your content creator and do some off-screen leveling. I won't do it all on screen. I was thinking of doing that, just giving people the real experience of playing an RPG. That being said, the real experience can be not as enjoyable to watch, especially with these older games. There is quite a bit of grinding involved. Some bosses they're basically hard gated barriers to your progress. If you're not high enough level, you're not going to be able to skill your way through. There's no dodge roll or anything like that. They just hit you for a certain number, and you hit for them for a certain number, and if those don't match up properly, you die and they live. And it's just that simple. It's math. So, but thank you so much for hanging out. I will do my little thing here. I haven't said this in so long, for years and years, but if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. This is a new baby channel and just starting out once again. So I personally I really enjoy the comments. So even if you leave a hello, hi, how are you doing? I appreciate that greatly. The interaction is always really fun on YouTube. So, but yeah, if you also want to see more in the future, feel free to be some of the first subscribers to the channel. But thank you so much for watching. And this has been the RPG Lounge. And I will see you in the next video. Bye now.